Lee Anderson.
Madam Chair, it is indeed a pleasure to serve under your chairship. I have got an interest in this, actually, as honourable members and right honourable members will know, that I am part of the CF community in that my wife has cystic fibrosis, and she wasn't diagnosed until she was 18 years old. So her journey was a little bit different from most CF patients because they're diagnosed at birth with a simple test. So she didn't know, and obviously when you get to 18, when you've just finished school and done your A-levels and you're off to university to start your new life, it's a bit of a shock when the doctor tells you that you're not going to live till you're 30. But she did live till she was 30. And with all the medication and the way our health service looked after her, she's led a decent life. But, you know, six years ago, she had a double lung transplant at Papworth Hospital, and she's doing all right. She's getting about and, you know, going about her business. So we're forever grateful to the NHS. So I do know a little bit about cystic fibrosis. I know what it's like to live with somebody who's got CF, and I know about the extra challenges and the extra costs involved. And there are costs that you wouldn't even think about if you didn't know anybody who's got CF. Just little things, you know, like, you know, it's quite right, the honourable member from Strangford, is that heating your home, that's crucial. It's the food. My wife has to eat about 4,000 calories a day, and she's basically like a stick insect, my missus says. She's ever so thin. She can't put weight on. She has to eat 4,000 calories just to maintain that weight. And then, you know, pre-transplant, if we go out for food or she ate food, she had to stop in the house to keep warm, because if she went outside, which we did on many occasions and we wish we hadn't, the cold air made her sick. It made her cough, and you cough and cough and cough when you've got CF until you eventually are sick. And that messes your diabetes up, and then you've got to go and eat more food to keep that weight on. So it's a 24-hour challenge. And then when you wake up in the middle of the night and your partner's coughing, and it's not just coughing, there's a cup full of blood at the side of the bed, and it's just blood coming out of the lungs, and you think, my goodness, this is horrible. She's going to die, but she's not, because that's normal for a CF patient. That's what they do. You know, you have to spend the night pounding the back and giving them percussion to make sure the mucus comes up. And it's a constant challenge. But we've made great leaps, I think, since I've been here with this new drug, with Trikafta drug, which we agreed to fund a couple of years back, and that's a game changer. So whilst there are challenges with the CF community and the extra costs involved, we've also seen great innovations in medicine, which are making sure that they live longer and they live a better quality of life as well. So they're not CF patients nowadays that can not lead a more normal life, but can have a good quality of life compared to what they were doing 20, 30 years ago, which is much better. And like I say, the Trikafta is a game changer. And when it was introduced a few years back, I got lots of emails, you know, to say, you know, we're over the moon, these families with little children. But in Ashfield, we've got a little CF warrior called Amelia Rose Ratcliffe. Now, she was a lockdown baby. She was born on the 12th of October 2020, and I've been to see her, and she's a gorgeous little girl, dead clever, and she lives with mum and dad and a brother Alfie. But to be told as a parent that your kid's got CF, I mean, I don't know how you cope with that. I really don't. It's because at one time it was a death sentence, but like I say, now with innovations in medicine, it's a lot better. But this family are a middle-income family, and they're feeling the pinch. They really are. And you know, like I say, keeping the house warm is so important. It's the nappies. You know, CF patients, whether they're children or adults, they go to the toilet more. It's as simple as that. So having a CF baby with nappies on is another extra cost. There's other equipment that you have to buy, like you can buy these vibration vests if you want to, which shakes the chest and clears the chest of mucus. You know, people have to buy them privately, and they're about £4 or £5 grand. They're a lot of money, but if you've got the money, you would do anything for your children. I'm sure you would. There's the constant trips to the hospital, and it's a lot of trips. Now, I know the honourable member from Strangford mentioned car parking fees. We're lucky at our local CF unit. The patients can park for free, so that's not a problem. But I wish some other trusts would take a leaf out of their books. Blowing machines, percussion machines. These are other stuff that you can buy. I know the NHS is pretty good at supplying them. There's lots of stuff that a parent's always looking for to give their child, to make their life more comfortable and prolong their life and give them a better quality of life. Because that's what it's about. It's about having that quality of life, you know. And since my wife had a transplant, her quality of life is a lot better than before. And we thank our donors' family every day, because that's another thing we don't really think about in these sort of discussions is, you know, eventually, without the right medication, some patients will need a transplant. And it's you know, that is a matter of life and death. My wife would not have been here now without a transplant. I spoke to Amelia's mum last night, and I asked her to if she wanted to say anything to this committee, because she can't be here and obviously can't speak here. So she wrote a few words down for me. I want to read them out to you, if that's all right, Chair. So this is Holly. This is Amelia's mum, and basically she said, being a CF parent is one of the hardest things I've had to go through, not just physically, but mentally too. Dealing with the condition in itself is hard enough, having no cure available, and the endless physio and daily routines, no days off, hospital stays, hospital trips, and constant need for medication just to keep her well. And sometimes it's not enough to keep her well. The worry is constant, and I worry for her future and what the future holds for Amelia. It plays really heavy on our minds as parents. But we try and stay as positive as possible, as we have no other choice but to take every day as it comes. It's draining physically, from running around, finding the medication, as there's a lot of shortages for certain medicines at the moment. So going to a number of pharmacies to find a medication is a struggle. There's no break. It's a full-time condition. It's 24/7. The price increase on everything, the cost of living has extra strain, and other things in life have taken a back seat. On behalf of the whole CF community, I wish that the government could help us as much as possible, and we thank you for the matters being discussed today. So I think that's quite good coming from Holly. But I'll just say a few more things, please, Madam Chair, before I finish. I spoke briefly about prescription charges. Yes, my wife, she was diagnosed with CF at 18. Had to pay prescriptions, obviously, but then she, you know, not fortunately, but when she got to 23, 24, she was diagnosed with diabetes. So because she got diabetes, she's then got free prescriptions. And actually, you know, the two diseases are so contradictory with each other. In one disease, CF, you've got to eat a lot of junk food, high calorific, burgers, chips, you know, that's a dream for most of us, isn't it? But that totally contradicts diabetes. So it's a constant struggle, you know, regulating your insulin. And actually, my wife always says to me she'd sooner have CF than diabetes. It's you know, even though CF it can be a killer, but that's the struggle to manage. And it's just a constant job. But we talk about free prescriptions, and the honourable member opposite did say it was £200,000. That's about the average wage now of a Premiership footballer, £200,000. I don't think that's too much money. But we have to be careful, because not every CF family is poor. There are a lot of CF people that go to work and have good jobs and have good careers. So I think that any support should be targeted at the most vulnerable families, because there are some very vulnerable CF families out there who haven't got much money. And, you know, and for a CF family like me, I'm prepared to pay a little bit more and not have a benefit to make sure that my neighbour, who hasn't got that money, hasn't got that support, gets a little bit more. So I hope I know the Minister's listening. She has got a big heart. I know she has. There's lots of little Amelias all over the country. And there will be lots of CF families watching this today. I know Amelia's families watching it. And there will be lots of people in the CF community and the CF Trust will be encouraging people. They keep tagging me on Facebook and making a nuisance of themselves. I'm glad they do, because, you know, we need to debate this important issue in this place. And if we can't change things here, then I'm in the wrong place. So thank you, Madam Chair. It's a great debate.
Weston.